But the key here is you need to make sure that your VA is always supported and has the clarity and training on what it is they're doing. Now, this will empower them to perform at a very high level and will help them make sure that it'll help you make sure that they're doing it correctly. Hey everybody, Zach Ullman back with another training, and today I want to ask you a question. What do you think of when I say virtual assistant? Now, virtual assistants have been made famous by entrepreneurs and businesses all over the world. They're used by individuals all the way up to Fortune 500 companies and everyone in between. Now, virtual assistants can help you grow your business, and they can also help you get your time back so you can do whatever you want with your life. You can find something else to work on. You can spend time with your family. If you're like me, you can travel and really grow your businesses. Now, you can also use virtual assistants for almost anything as long as the work can be done remotely. That's the key. Remotely. Now, today I want to discuss some of the things that you need to consider before hiring a virtual assistant. Now, before we get into this conversation, I want to identify who I'm talking to today, because as you grow your business, this advice will change. Today, I'm talking specifically to the individuals that are growing their personal businesses and have little to no access to capital to fund a large workforce. I'm going to be speaking from the mindset of bootstrapping, which is essentially having your business pay for your growth as opposed to outside capital. With that being said, let's jump into this, gang. Now, the first question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready for a virtual assistant? I remember when I hired my first virtual assistant, and it was an eye-opening experience. And the reason I say that is because I wasn't prepared to bring in a virtual assistant. I spent $3,000 for someone to find me a VA, and then on their first day, I had absolutely zero structure in place to assign tasks or keep that VA busy. Now, this was the first time I really got present to the difference of being self-employed and running a business. To run a business, you need to have others do things for you, and the only way you can do this is to have systems, processes, and structure in place. Now, with that being said, if you don't have any of the systems, processes, or structure in place, you can hire someone to create those for you, or hire someone that already knows how to do that. But the less process, the less systems, the less structure you have in place, the more you're going to have to pay that VA, because the experience will play a huge part in this. Now, another question you have to ask yourself is, do you know how to do the tasks that you're asking the VA to do? Now, I see so many people hire VAs and don't know how to do the tasks themselves. Now, there are many tasks that I don't know how to do, and I hire them out through a VA. These tasks include very technical aspects such as software development, bookkeeping, copywriting, things like that. Now, I don't know how to do those, but I do know what they should cost. I do have a relative idea of how long they should take because I've paid other people. I'm in this industry and I know what I need. Now, other aspects of businesses are crucial for me to know before I hire them out. This is specifically around sales and fulfillment. Now, if you don't know how to close business and deliver that product or service, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage, and you will also spend lots of time and money having your VA get up to speed. I can personally attest to this. I've tried hiring VAs to do sales aspects of it when I wasn't good at sales, but I got really great at sales, and I'm $1 million earner inside of that. And then I created a system, process, and structure to bring somebody else in to do that, right? I had to, that's bootstrapping at its core, is I made sales, I created the process, made more sales, refined that process, made more sales, and then I hired somebody to put in that process. If you don't have that process set up and you're just winging it like most people do, like I did when I was all by myself, when you bring in that sales person or the person to help you on fulfillment, they're going to be lost because they can be a great salesperson, But if they don't understand the product, they don't understand the service, they don't understand the sales cycle, they don't understand the leads, like we have a whole education aspect for our sales team. And that, in my belief, what really helps us propel inside of our businesses. So really make sure you have that piece defined. Now you can pay somebody to do that. We have actually, I've paid somebody else to do it. And now we have our own company that people pay us to do it. The thing is, it's just going to cost more money. So you can either create it yourself or have somebody come in. But remember who we're talking to in this conversation. We're talking to the bootstrappers. Go make money, take that money, reinvest some of it back into your business. Now, if you bring in a VA and you're not set up for them to work, not only will it be a waste of your time and money, but the VA will probably get frustrated as well because they won't have any direction. Now, you have to imagine if you were starting a job, and I've started jobs like this, and your boss said, "Welcome to the team, now get to work," right? They don't provide any direction, account information, anything that helps you understand what it is that you're supposed to do. The question is how would that make you feel? The answer is probably pretty disempowered and discouraged. That's how the VAs feel, right? They're humans too. They're fantastic individuals. They just so happen to live somewhere else. Now, this is exactly how your VA is going to feel if you don't provide them direction. So create that process. And if you need help with this, we have a company that does that. We actually find the VAs for you, help you create that structure, systems, and process, and it's all included in one beautiful package. And then we can do anything else you want. Systems, process, business development. So reach out to me if you want to know more about that. Now, it is my belief you need to understand the entire process of your business and identify where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. This is going to help you so much to identify which VA is good for you because you want to leverage your skill set, right? And you want, we're going to walk through this process right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to lay out your business process and identify the entire process from initial marketing to money in the bank. And then even after that, follow up, upsells, continued service. This will save you so much time going forward. So take the time to do it. A lot of people won't take this time and they'll go and wing it. And then there's no intention, there's no planning, and there's no focus, and they get those type of results. They get poor results. Now, identify what you're currently doing for each process inside of your business and identify where the most of your time is being spent. The key here is to identify tasks and process that take a lot of your time that don't bring a lot of value to your business that you can hire a VA to do relatively cheap. Now, you need to know what your time is worth and where is the best use of your time, and this exercise is absolutely perfect for that. Now, you want to make sure that you are making sales before you hire a VA, because if you aren't making sales on your own, it's going to be a lot harder to have a VA help you make sales. Now, my reasoning with this, saying this, is you want to know that your business can afford its first VA. If you don't have any money coming in and then you add another expense on top of it, it will cause you some undue stress, which will affect your performance. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know and I'll tell you, right? Now, the business should pay for the VA if you're bootstrapping it. Remember, we're not using our job to fund this. We're not using outside capital to fund this. If you want to, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you're a high income earner and you need a VA to start that side business. Perfect. But remember, the person I'm talking to is a person that doesn't have a whole lot of money and they're trying to bootstrap this. If you have the capital, it's a totally different process, and you create the process and then you hire somebody to do it, or you hire somebody to create that process. But remember, we're talking to the bootstrappers. Now, I want to share with you some simple tips on how to prepare to bring your first VA on board. And I'm going to assume that your first VA will be a general VA that helps you with the daily tasks that take up most of your time, but are critical that they get done. These include things like any type of communication, such as checking emails, returning calls, maybe setting appointments, bookkeeping, prospecting, marketing, right? Getting you out of the, that day-to-day rigmarole so you can be used where you're best equipped. Now, if you're looking for a VA to do something specific, such as copywriting, content creation, etc., the VA will, they're still going to need direction, but it won't be as precise because they're experts in that area. So you will just have to share the overall project with them, right? We have content creators, and I create content, and then they go and work their wonders with it. I don't have to tell them what to do. I don't have to create a process around that. Copywriters, the same thing, because they're very specific. If you need help in your business, like with the things I said earlier, returning calls, setting appointments, bookkeeping, prospecting, all of that, they can be experts at it. They just have to know how you want to do it, right? Because everybody does it a little bit differently. So that's why you need the systems and process there. Now, before we jump into this, I want you to know I have an entire free training on this that has training videos, spreadsheets, and a bunch of other stuff to help you get your business up and going. It's essentially what I'm talking about right now, but in a training format, absolutely free. Reach out to me and I will get that for you. Or you can go to elevatewiththeva.com. That's my business. And just click on that free download. It's absolutely free training on how to incorporate VAs. Now, the first thing you need to do is open a Google spreadsheet and start documenting what you do every day. Most people have no structure in their day, and they're so embedded in their business that they don't even think about what it is they do. And the intention with this is to identify where you spend your time. And it's super simple. You're going to create rows for tasks that you need to be completed every day, then each day of the week, Monday through Sunday. Some of you don't work weekends, but you may have a VA working weekends, right? I have a VA working 7 days a week, okay? I have multiple VAs all over the world, and I get different VAs from different regions based on what I need. So start documenting below these headers things that you do every day. Things such as checking emails, returning calls, social media posting, setting appointments, updating process, updating CRMs. Again, reach out to me, elevatewiththeva.com. I have a whole list of stuff that we use our VAs for, and you can get some ideas for that. Now, what you want to do is put how much time you spend on each of these. How much time do you spend returning calls, social media? Again, the intention here is to see where you spend your time. So you're going to continue this for a couple weeks, all the way up to an entire month. Now, if you have tasks that are based on at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month, such as bookkeeping, rental properties, things like that, then you're going to want to do this through an entire cycle. It may take you a month, a little over a month. Once you have found the area that a VA will be best utilized in your company, you're going to need to document the process you want them to do. And this is very simple using a screen recorder like loom.com. Everything I'm sharing today is free. Google Spreadsheets is free. Loom.com is free. You can take it to the next level and use paid subscriptions. But again, we're bootstrapping here. So what you're going to do is to simply identify the task that you want them to do and then record you doing that task. While you're recording the task, you want to explain what you're doing and more specifically, why you're doing it. And this is critical because the idea is to replicate your knowledge, your skill set, and your experience around that task to the VA so that they can fully own it. For a great example of this, go watch Making Toast. There's a great TED Talk called Making Toast that explains how to document the process. And the problem is most people, they're too high level. They forget little things. So go watch Making Toast. It's a great TED Talk, and that'll give you a sense of how specific you need to be. Now, once you have found the area that a VA will be best utilized and you have the process documented, now you need to go find a VA, right, with those specific skills. Now, depending on the skill set, there's tons of different websites out there. A couple that I used to use was Upwork.com, Fiverr.com, FreeUp.com. Just go Google what type of VA you're looking for. Lots of websites. Here's the challenge. I used to use those websites, and the challenge is I would go through VA after VA after VA after VA. I have to interview them, and it was a lengthy process. So I actually created a company where we go find the VAs for you. We help you create the systems and process. We help them integrate into your business, and then we we manage them every month for you, right? All the way down. It's called Done For You. All the way to down to Done By Yourself. So if you want some information on that, go to elevatewiththeva.com and let's have that conversation. Now, when you bring on a VA, it is highly recommended you have them watch the training videos you created and then meet with them on a daily basis as they learn the process. Now, after a couple weeks, you can pull back your meeting frequency if they don't need that support. But the key here is you need to make sure that your VA is always supported and has the clarity and training on what it is they're doing. Now, this will empower them to perform at a very high level and will help them make sure that it'll help you make sure that they're doing it correctly. So that is a quick overview. Again, go to elevatewiththeva.com if you want to learn more about what we're doing. If you need help in real estate, finance, whatever it is, check out. We have Facebook pages, we have YouTube, websites, everything out there. I own multiple businesses all over the world, and the process I just went over with you is exactly how I start every business. So if you have any questions around how to incorporate your VA into your business, or you want some free training, reach out to me directly, private message me. We're always here to support you. Zach Ullman, have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye-bye.